Hey guys, it's Emily. Welcome to Posy Lane. If you're brand new here at Posy Lane, we like to do fun, easy, doable crafts. If you're returning, I'm so glad you're back and that we can craft together again. We are going to be making a succulent arrangement, a palm leaf pencil jar, and a leaf wall plaque. I have been following blogs for years. I just love following different people, and I follow this home interior designer called The Nester. Just posted about the effect that it has when you put greenery in your home. I love having live plants, but I know that not everyone has a green thumb, or sometimes there's just an area where there's not light, and so it's hard to have those real plants. So that's another reason why I wanted to do faux. So let's just jump right into it. Everything to build the succulent arrangement I actually got at the Dollar Tree. I found this dry foam at the Dollar Tree, and we're going to be building it in this mini crate. And I love how this doesn't have like slats in it, so it'll hide the foam. All of the succulents were also from the Dollar Tree, surprisingly, and I think that they look really realistic. Some of them had like bright red or bright yellow on them, and I've never seen succulents in real life that actually have that, so I avoided ones that maybe had colors that weren't realistic. And to make the arrangement, we want different shapes and different textures and different colors, so I also made sure to do that. I almost wanted to leave this crate unpainted, but I decided it would look a little bit better and more finished if I did paint it. And so I'm just using antique parchment, which is really close to this color, to paint it, and we'll probably just do one coat. The trickiest thing about painting these wood crates is these little grooves, and I've noticed that if I just use my brush, just use the tip, it gets in there pretty good. You're not going to see the inside of the crate, so I'm not worrying about painting it, but I am making sure to get like handles on the inside and also these top little ledges. The paint is all dry now, so we're ready to build our arrangement. Make sure when you're getting foam that you get the dry foam and not the wet kind. The wet kind is for fresh flowers, and whenever I cut my foam, I just always use a butter knife. It seems to cut it pretty easy, and I'll make sure to make it where it fits tight and secure and won't wiggle around. The foam is a little bit too tall, so I'm just going to shave off the top. You'll notice that some of the succulents from the Dollar Tree came in little pots, but I knew that they would come just right out because some of them had already fallen out at the store. Whenever I build an arrangement, the first thing that I do is place all of the things down and make sure I like where I put them, and then I secure it with hot glue. I just realized these clips are kind of getting in the way, but I think I can just pull it off. I just finished adding all the succulents, and really it didn't cover as well as I thought it was going to. And so to cover up the foam, I always keep some extra moss on hand, and so I'm just going to cover the foam with it. The handles are kind of showing with the foam, and so I'm just going to hot glue some moss to cover those as well. It's amazing how just a little bit of moss really filled in this arrangement, and I think it really helps finish it off. The next thing we're making is a palm leaf pencil jar, and I found these leaves at the Dollar Tree and thought that they would look so pretty wrapped around a jar, and it would add a little touch of greenery to maybe like your workspace or desk. I know with a desk, it's like precious real estate, and you have to think about what you're putting there, making sure that it has a good function to it, but why not also make it look pretty? When I put these leaves up next to the jar, they were almost the perfect height, and so I'm just going to cut them right at the base of the leaf so that we can start attaching them. Thought it would be really pretty to have some of these palm fronds kind of mixed in with these leaves, and I noticed that these are just really easy to pull off and I don't even have to cut them. I'm going to be hot gluing them onto the jar with my hot glue gun and just alternate the leaves. noticed when I put it on that the leaves are just starting to stick straight out, so I'm just going to secure them with hot glue as well. There's two sizes of these little palm fronds, and I think I want to use the smaller ones because the bigger ones seem to be a little bit too big for the jar. Where I wanted to place these is a little bit too long, so I'm just going to trim that with my wire cutters. I'm kind of overlapping the different kinds of leaves. I think that will make it more interesting than if I just space them out really far so they're not overlapping. I actually made all of my own wedding flowers from silk. I did something similar for the reception table at our wedding, all in faux flowers, and this is just bringing back memories of my wedding. I love wall art that has like ferns on it. And so I thought when I saw these at the Dollar Tree, how perfect would it be to just take simple branches from these faux greenery and put them onto a plaque to display them. I wanted the plaques to look like they kind of had a stain on them and for them to be a warmer color just because I kind of like having some warm tones in my house. I didn't have any stain, and so I'm kind of making my own stain kind of the same way that you would make like a whitewash, but instead of a whitewash we're using brown paint, and so I'm going to use equal parts brown paint and equal parts water. This is 3 tablespoons of water, and I'll just add that and then do 3 tablespoons of this brown paint. Instead of using a paintbrush to apply it, I'm going to be rubbing it on with a paper towel because I want the wood grain to show and I want this to be lighter. You'll notice some of these edges are a little bit darker where the wood's a little bit rougher, and I figured out that if you just take a rag, this is an old rag I have that I wet a little bit, it helps make it lighter than it was before. Painted a second plaque the same exact way that I painted the first one, and we are going to be adding the leaves to the top of each of these, but I wanted there to be another pop of green and just add a little bit more color since it's just going to be one simple leaf. And I saw this yarn at the Dollar Tree and thought that it was the perfect match for the leaves that I'm using. So I'm just going to be wrapping this around. I think it will go around about twice, and I'll just secure it with some hot glue. Notice I'm using a palm frond like the ones that I used earlier in the pencil cup, and then the other plaque I'm using this greenery. I just loved all these little details on it. When I have faux greenery like this, or any faux flowers really, I like to just see if I can take it off without having to cut it first, and it seems like these will come off the branch pretty easy. And I found with these palm fronds, the easiest way to secure them is just to put the glue on the spine of the leaf. I'm just going to add these kind of in layers and try to make it look like it was all one branch. The moss really came and saved the day with this succulent arrangement. It really helped pull it all together and hide all that foam that was there originally. This arrangement is kind of small. I like small arrangements like this, but if you wanted it bigger, you could glue several of these mini crates together and make it to scale the size that you need, even maybe putting 2 next to each other so that it's long and skinny for the center of a table. The pencil jar almost looks like you're in a jungle or something, so I would love having this sitting out on my desk while I'm working, just to imagine that I'm somewhere else. Just how pretty and bright it is, but also has a great function to it. The wall plaques, I don't know if I'm going to hang them or not, so I may just use a plate holder like this to put them in and stick them on different shelves, but if I did want to hang them, I may just use some jute cord and hot glue it to the back. I was so happy with how the stain came out since it was something I'd never seen before and kind of made up. Thank you guys so much for joining me this week. I had so much fun with you at Posy Lane. I can't wait for our next craft.